of the Vuvuzela means it's time again for the Get More Sports World Tour Soccer Podcast. I am EJ Carr, and joining us this week is a very special guest from the Canadian national team. Lauren Sesselmann will be stopping by later to talk about what's going on in the Women's World Cup and Team Canada. Obviously, they came out of their match with a 1-0 result with the late penalty kick, and that was quite a result. It's a good way for Team Canada to start their World Cup 2015. It's fantastic for them. And, of course, that's great for Lauren. She's just coming back from her injury with the ACL, and certainly get into some of that discussion with her when she stops by in a little while. And, of course, I want to start, the FIFA scandal is certainly not going away anytime soon. There's a lot going on, of course. Sepp Blatter, we know, stepped down, and it's amazing that he wins the election on a Friday, and he decides to step down on a Tuesday, just 5 days after he gets anointed as president for another term. And it's amazing to think that why did you even bother taking part in the in the whole process if you weren't planning on actually trying to stick this out and help FIFA get out of this. Oh, my God, this is terrible for FIFA. Of course, the United States has heavily, trying to get their hand involved with everything that's gone on. The FBI is certainly involved. And it's almost coming down to an FBI versus FIFA, which obviously is not good for FIFA. And for anybody who lives in America, and you don't even need to live in America to know that the FBI is not one to play around with. So this is going to get certainly interesting. I guess now, obviously, December 16th, they're going to have the re-election to decide who's going to take over for Sepp Blatter. And it's interesting. It's really tough to see. What was his reason for really pulling out of here? Was it the threat of the sponsors pulling out and not being supportive and helping FIFA with all their World Cups? Was it a threat of a simple boycott from many of the UEFA nations who might not want to take part in this World Cup because of the scandal? And, it's hard for UEFA to actually come out and say, we don't support what FIFA's scandal. It's not like UEFA hasn't had their own share of issues over, let's be honest here. Let's just be honest here. UEFA's not exactly been, without their own scandals over the past few years, of course, around Italy. Certainly, you see point deductions for certain things, but, I don't want to make it a show about all that, but, scandal is not something that UEFA or FIFA has not had their fair share of seeing over the past few years. But, then you throw in the big match-fixing scandal that happened with 210 games might have been decided. That happened a couple of years ago when the big reveal came out about what countries. Singapore was involved, Asia was involved, Italy was involved. And, of course, it wasn't just in European nations. It was all over Asia. It was everywhere. So it's certainly not something that's going to go away anytime soon. We saw today that FIFA handed over their computer data to the Swiss authorities who were investigating the World Cup bids for 2018 and 22, and all the information was seized at the Zurich headquarters of World Football's governing body from the offices which included that President Sepp Blatter. And FIFA is saying that they're cooperating fully with the authorities, and the Swiss police said last month that they're going to look into how forthcoming these World Cups were when they were allocated. And like we mentioned, 14 people have already been indicted. If you caught our last show, we kind of discussed some of the names that were involved with that. But, now all the IT data from the offices of the Secretary of Jerome Valcke, they're all out there. And just today, the FIFA Secretary General came out and said that FIFA is going to postpone the bidding process for the 2026 World Cup as investigations continue into the allegations that bribery helped determine the hosts of the earlier World Cups. World Soccer's governing body is expected to allocate the 2026 tournament to a host nation in 2017. But, that bidding process is supposed to start soon, but in the current situation, it would be pretty ridiculous to actually, start the process now without a FIFA president. Actually, even though Sepp Blatter has said he will remain in office until the December 16th re-election. So, but as of now, FIFA is saying that there's no legal grounds that they're going to take for the 2018 World Cup being decided for Russia or the 22 2022 event from Qatar. So we doubt that they're going to be pulling out of any of those. I mean, you're already pretty much committed to playing those games, and they've been preparing for months, if not years, to get that together. Of course, Russia's still kind of going through a little bit of a process, trying to make sure all their stadiums are up to par, but it seems like they're doing well so far. And plenty of workers out there trying to help everything get together, which is important, of course. And then, of course, in the hotel situation and all the people who are going to flock there, because as we saw with Brazil last year in the men's side, it's a painstaking process to be able to have so many people coming in from so many different nations and be able to accommodate everybody is certainly a task. But we'll see how that goes. Obviously, we all hope Russia can pull it off, because you don't want any hitches in a World Cup, because there's enough going on. The last thing you want to see is any kind of a boycott or any kind of a process like that. That's the last thing anybody wants to see, of course. So hopefully they can work all that out, and soon enough we'll know when they're going to start deciding the 2026 World Cup host. That'd be interesting. But of course, we're going to get to some of the Women's World Cup here in a few minutes when we have Lauren on the line. Like I said, she'll be stopping by here soon. And certainly want to get into some of the MLS action. There's only 5 MLS games on the schedule for this weekend. Montreal's going to be headed to the Yankee Stadium to take on New York City FC. Of course, New York City FC is also going to be taking on the New York Cosmos on June 17th in the U.S. Open Cup. And we discussed some of that today. If any of you are interested in the Cosmos and what they have going on, of course, I'm the host of the Into the Cosmos podcast on the NewYorkCosmos.com website. And you can find that over at Sportspalooza Radio, too, over on Blog Talk Radio. We feature both on the Cosmos site and over at Sportspalooza Radio. And we had some pretty nice interviews this week with Sebastian Gonzalez and Jamal Johnson, who used to be on the Cosmos as well. Great interviews with both of them. Both fantastic guys. It's cool to see what Sebastian Gonzalez went through from Uruguay trying to get over to the United States. And it was cool to get his take on what he went through to get over here and some of the stuff. It's cool. You really never think about what, when players come here from other countries, you think, it's just soccer. All they're really doing is coming over here to play a game. And you know what? If it was that easy, it's not as easy a process as people think with a language barrier. That alone. I mean, think of yourself going to a third world country, no less, and trying to, and then not understanding the language. It's not exactly an easy process. I mean, you're leaving your family behind, your friends behind, everyone you know, and so it's pretty cool to hear Sebastian's take on how he got here from Uruguay, and it's just fantastic interview. Of course, Jamal Johnson played with the Cosmos when the Cosmos won the 2013 World Cup, and we'll get into some North American soccer league as well here, but. Like I said, Montreal's going to be here at the Yankee Stadium, take on New York City. The LA Galaxy are going to be traveling to Columbus. Boy, Columbus Crew, they're certainly struggling. It's amazing to see them back in the 6th spot. They just can't seem to find a win lately. I mean, it's got off to a great start. Of course, their road record is obviously symbolic of why they've been struggling this year. They're one of the few teams who have not been able to win an away game this year. It's Columbus and the Chicago Fire are the 2 teams in the East who have not to win a road game. And we mentioned the LA Galaxy, and they're the only other team who has not managed to find a way to win a game away from home, and now they are again, indeed, in Columbus. So these two certainly have a lot to make up for. Of course, with the international duel, you're going to see a lot of players out of the mix here, but it's going to be an interesting game, that Galaxy game. I don't know how many goals we're going to see there. Probably not a lot. I know you think, it's tough to predict the Columbus Crew under. I know they don't play too many unders, and I'm probably not going to suggest that to anybody. But anyway, rounding off the schedule, we see Chicago Fire at Gillette Stadium taking on New England Revolution at 7:30 on Saturday as well. And what's that Sunday? No, that's Saturday. I'm sorry. And Dallas and Seattle will face off, and that's a big match in the Western Conference, of course, with Dallas trying to get back in the mix there. They're, of course, at the top of the table for a long time now. They've gone 4 straight games without a win. That's certainly something that's a concern for them. If you're going to play any over, I would think that the Seattle Sounders Dallas over really certainly would be a great recommendation for anybody this week. I mean, man, there's probably going to be a few goals there, although Seattle's carpet is a nightmare to play on. And DC United in Orlando City. It's the only Sunday match this week, and that's crazy game. DC United obviously is trying to keep their home stretch intact, but now they're on the road, and Orlando City's just, starting to get better playing at home in the Citrus Bowl. And, of course, we're looking at the first-place team in the East with DC United, who are hanging on by 7 points over New England. And New England's been struggling. Of course, DC United comes off their loss last weekend to Toronto FC at home. So all their efforts got to the 22 match streak without losing a game at home. And that finally came to an end last weekend. And Toronto walking in there without Michael Bradley, without Jose Altidore, to walk into RFK Stadium to take them down 2-1 like that was pretty impressive, to be honest with you. I was kind of shocked about that. You just don't predict DC United to lose at home. Of course, they're still 8-4-4 with 20 goals scored, 15 against. But that nice lead, a 7-point lead this early in the season with 16 games, I mean, they're going to need that, especially because almost everybody in this Eastern Conference hasn't even played. I mean, Toronto's only played 12 games. Of course, Montreal's only played 10 games. So there's a lot of soccer left to be played in the Eastern Conference this year, so it's good that they have an early lead. DC United might need it the way they're playing right now. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, that was a tough loss for them this weekend. To see DC United playing Orlando, that's another overweight that happened. How many goals does anybody predict that we're going to see in the Orlando City DC United match? I mean, right now we're seeing a total of 2.5 at -110. You know how we like to say here. Let me go grab my gavel. Sold. Anybody should take that DC United over 2.5, especially at a reasonable price of -110. There's nothing wrong with that player. If you haven't seen an Orlando City game recently or at all this year, and you like exciting up and down action, this team puts up more shots on goal. My goodness, even in my write-up over at Diamond this past weekend, I said they put up more shots than you see on the old westerns on the AMC Classic channel. I mean, it's just they put up shots after shot after shot. That's all Orlando City does is just shoot a goal. It's amazing. There's certainly going to be a few goals there. Definitely the play. I'm going to make that my play of the week, if you will. So we'll see how that goes down. Of course, I want to move over to the North American Soccer League. Like I mentioned, Jacksonville's going to be taking on the Cosmos at Short Stadium in Long Island, and the Cosmos are 3 points up on Tampa Bay to take the spring season. This is the final weekend in the spring season for the North American Soccer League, and the team that wins the spring season gets an automatic entry to the semifinals of the playoffs after the fall season. So it's a big weekend for the Cosmos. They only need a draw. Of course, they'd like to get the win in front of their home fans, and with the U.S. Cup on deck as well for the Cosmos, they have a big week coming up. Edmonton is going to be at Indy 11, and Atlanta's taking on Tampa Bay, and a scrappy Silverbacks team is going to be playing. I'm sure a lot of Cosmo fans are going to have their eye on that, especially since Atlanta's in last place and really hasn't played that well at all this year. They only have one win. So Tampa Bay is certainly going to be pretty strongly favored, and they're only like -135 or so. It's actually shocked to see Tampa Bay only -135 at home against Atlanta. I mean, they're certainly going to find a way to take those 3 points. You can't lose your final spring game to a last place club when you're chasing a trophy. I mean, it's to win the spring season. You still get a pretty good award for that. And to make it all the way to the semifinals with just one more weekend. I mean, obviously they need the Cosmos to fall apart as well, which would be tough to see. But it's going to be interesting to see how Tampa Bay only at -135. It's a pretty low line for a team that should come out of there with 3 points. Fort Lauderdale is going to be playing Minnesota. And Ottawa is going to round out the weekend when they play at San Antonio. So it's an interesting match. I'm probably going to give out a few plays for that North American Soccer League weekend. If you check my EJ, the Rainmaker feed over on Twitter, you'll see I'll probably have some plays posted for the MLS and North American Soccer League and a combo plate because certainly something I love to do. Definitely like to get plays out there. But let's start talking about some of the stuff going on with the Canadian team and the Women's World Cup right now. Of course, Canada, like I said, they came out with the opening win at home with a late penalty kick, and I'm sure a lot of people have the whole, are we going through this again with Brazil? Because, of course, remember last year in the World Cup with Brazil, they got a lot of favorable home calls. And, of course, it was certainly a deserved call. I definitely, in watching the replays, you can see that, they deserved the penalty kick, and it was nice to see her convert. It was pretty cool to see, actually. For anybody who hasn't been watching the Women's World Cup this year, you really should be checking it out. I mean, there's a lot going on, and it's certainly a lot of fun for everybody. So What else was I going to mention here about the Women's World Cup? Yeah, it's, where did it go? Yeah, I lost it. Yeah, that's what happens when you're trying to do too many things at once here. Canada and the Netherlands are leading Group A right now with 2-1 wins over China and New Zealand. In Group B, Germany. My goodness, if you missed what Germany did to Ivory Coast this past week, oh my goodness, 10-0. Yep, 10-0. I said it's pretty bad. Losing 10. The German squad is obviously like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago when we did the show about the World Cup. The Germany and the U.S. team are certainly favored coming in here to win 10-0. That team just doesn't stop. So obviously Germany is on top of Group B right now with Norway, who had a 4-0 win over Thailand themselves. So it's Group B looks like it's obviously going to come down to Germany and Norway at the top two. It's going to be pretty tough to overtake Germany unless the Norway team can take on Germany themselves. And we'll see how that goes. But we might have ourselves a special guest here. So let's see if we can't bring in Lauren Sesselmann from the Canadian national team. Well, hello, how you doing today?
Good. How are you guys?
Thank you so much for joining us. It's good to hear from you again. It's great to hear your voice. How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Just getting ready for tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. So.
Yeah, nice to have a day off today. It seems that everybody in the World Cup women's tournament has a day off, so it's nice to have of course, you've had a few days off to prepare. You've got a big match this weekend. I mean, it's pretty big match. New Zealand's certainly a scrappy club, and boy, you had to be happy with taking the 1-0 result. I saw you were right at the top of the box when she converted that kick, and you were on your, I mean, your hands were on your knees. You're pretty exhausted. That was a long game, huh?
Yeah, it was definitely a long game. I couldn't even look when she was about to shoot the penalty kick because I was so nervous. But Christine is obviously I knew she was going to make it. There was no doubt in my mind. I was just like, oh my gosh, please, please, please. I was praying right there. So happy for the 3 points. So. Yeah,
and you certainly need it. That's quite a little group. That Netherlands game that you have coming up on the 15th in Montreal. How nice is it to start the first two games in Edmonton for you? I mean, it's nice to have New Zealand, and you haven't had to travel. You haven't really had to do anything, and it's just nice to be able to hang out with the team, get your preparation together. How nice has it been to be able to stay back-to-back games in Edmonton?
Oh, I mean, it's so nice. I mean, especially for recovery purposes. It's not that great to be traveling, back and forth. So it's nice to have two games here. And, I mean, it's such an amazing atmosphere. You guys saw in the game. We had 53 fans. It was sold out. The crowd was crazy. We had 2.9 million people watching the game. So it was just such a surreal feeling, and we are so excited for tomorrow. And hopefully, we can have the same amount of people come back out and support us. So.
Yeah, you think? I'm pretty sure that place is going to be packed, Lauren. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
Yeah. No.
Do you feel that? Do you feel it? Does it kind of overcome you when you're like, oh my goodness, not only how many people are watching, but then throw in the thousands of fans. I mean, do you feel that? And you gotta love it, right?
Oh yeah, I mean the energy is insane, and I mean everywhere we go around here, everyone's like, we're rooting for, we're watching, and just to see how far women's soccer has come is insane. And when we saw the statistics of how many people were actually watching that game, I was like, wow. So it's pretty special for us.
That's pretty cool. How is the knee holding up? Now, you were on our Sports Palooza radio show right when the Men's World Cup was going on, of course, dealing with that rehab from that stupid knee injury. Dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you feeling now? I mean, I saw your interview about somebody asking you, do you worry about the knee? And of course it's on the back of your mind, but at the same token, it can't be. You got into a few pretty good physical one-on-one matchups in your game, and obviously you have to have confidence on that leg. So how do you feel?
I feel great. I've had a great staff, taking care of me and working on me, and little by little we've been building up, and I'm still doing a bunch of stuff throughout the tournament, just to make sure it stays strong, and, I'm on top of everything recovery-wise. It feels great, and which kind of stinks is I had a little bit of a setback in my other knee, I was starting to feel really good on my right knee, then I had a little something in the left knee, so it was kind of one thing after another, and it was so many setbacks, and it was just like, is this ever going to get better? And then it finally did, right on time, feeling just 100% for this tournament, and being able to put 90 minutes in, my first 90 minutes in over a year and a half. Isn't that insane? So I just felt so awesome to be out there with the team again, and yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, well, you certainly don't need the other knee to start. Really? Does my other knee have to start? Right? You do all that.
Yeah, I was like, are
really?
you kidding me? But it's it's all part of sports, so.
Now, how's your relationship with Coach Erdman? He's a phenomenal coach, obviously, and when you obviously everyone's been helping you get back, then they want to make sure you're on the field for the first game. Tell us about your relationship with Coach Erdman, because he's fantastic.
Oh yeah, he is a very special person. He has just completely turned this team around, and just the amount of work that this coaching staff and support staff, medical staff, everybody that puts into this program is insane. I don't think the man ever sleeps, he's always saying his brain never stops working either. It's always like going 100 miles per hour. So he's just so on top of everything, and his support is incredible. He'll always take you aside and, work on these little things, or he'll just be like, I believe in you so much. And when you have somebody that says that to you, you're just like, you have so much confidence in yourself, and it just transcends onto the field. And yeah, he is a pretty special person.
Yeah, that positive attitude, and especially with what you've been through, you have to have that surrounding you. Anybody walks in and says, I don't think you can do it, and I don't think this, and you're not ready for that. Like, that's the last thing you need, because you're, getting back from this injury, it took a lot from you, and I certainly want to talk about your Fit as a Pro DVD stuff. Did I see your Twitter feed? You're still posting. You're getting some other DVDs out there. How's that stuff going for you?
It's going really well. We're getting a really good following, so I'm really excited for the future of it. And we're going to do a bunch of fun things, after I have a little bit of downtime. And it's just really cool to see how it's blossomed and how many people really enjoy it. And we're just really excited for what's next for it.
Yeah. How's Liliana doing? I know you guys. We had both of you on our show. How's Liliana doing?
She is doing great. I think she's going a little crazy getting ready for the premiere of our movie. So she's one of the hardest workers I think I've ever met. And, I'm truly grateful for her friendship and also being my business partner in all these different ventures. She works endlessly and is always keeping me on top of things, which helps because I'm always, going crazy doing a bunch of stuff. So she always hey, did you do this? She's just on point with everything, so she's fantastic.
Yeah, I see her Twitter feed. She's like, "Will someone tell me where I can find the Canadian feed, please, so I can watch a game?" And
I know.
She's great.
She's so supportive. She sends me little pictures of her little niece, she likes to call it, to her brother's dog, and wearing our jersey and stuff like that. We're supporting you. We're watching, and she sends such motivational messages and just always has my back. So it's great to have that kind of support.
Yep. You ready for the football season, Lauren? I know you're a big Packer fan, so I know you're ready.
Yeah. The seats in Edmonton are green and yellow, so what more could you ask for?
Right? You can right at home
here for me. Yeah. Of course, I love football, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, now tell me about the number 10. How was that your idea, or was that?
I know. I always think people are like, "Oh, I can't believe they have a defender wearing number 10." I'm like, "Okay, guys, it's the only number that was actually left over when I joined the team. Everybody has their set numbers on the team, and number 10 was pretty much one of the only numbers because you have to go. I think it's under 20. You have to have a number under 20. So I was like, sure, I'll take number 10. I'll rock it out and." People are always giving me, crap about it, and I'm like, okay, well, it's just a number, so.
Oh, Lauren, I can't give you crap about that number. Listen.
It's a pretty special number, and to be able to wear that.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's be honest here. There's a guy who used to play for the Cosmos who was pretty good, and his name was Pele, and he wore number 10, and I think everyone knows that, and what more of an honor? When you wear number 10 on a soccer jersey, you're somebody. So I'm going to have to say,
yeah, exactly. That's the way I look at it. Messi, everything. So.
Seriously, that's a great number. Now, what's going on with Houston? I've talked to Coach Waldron recently too, and what's going on with the Houston Dash stuff? Are you going to be returning to them after the Cup, or do you have other plans?
No, I'll be returning. We get a week off after the World Cup, and then we'll be joining the team and ready to work hard there. So I'm pretty excited to finally be playing with them this year. Last year was kind of hard sitting sideline, but we have a strong squad this year, and I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Yeah. What do you think of Coach Waldron? Because he's fantastic. What a career he is at as well. I'm sure he's been helpful in getting you back on. Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's always checking in, and he always sends us little good luck text messages. So he's a fantastic coach, fantastic person, and he just gets you excited about the game, and he also is a great coach that believes in you and says that to you. So I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, well, you're preparing for New Zealand tomorrow, and then you're going to be headed to Montreal, which is okay. Olympic Stadium's not exactly a shabby place either. There's going to be a couple of fans there to support. So how are you getting ready for this?
I have 45 Sesselmanns coming. I have 45, so it's going to be crazy. I've never been to Montreal, but the Sesselmann clan is going to be there, and it is going to be amazing.
That's cool, man. That's just cool. Montreal, that's what a gorgeous city. And then, but at the same token, the Netherlands are going to be in front of you, and that is a scrappy European club. Yeah.
Yeah, they are so strong, and we see them in the hotel here, and I look at them, they're all huge, and I'm like, oh my gosh, so, it's going to be a physical match, and they're a strong side, so, first focus on New Zealand, and then, and then the Netherlands.
Yeah, how does that go for you? I mean, how does the preparation go from, but when you know the three clubs you're going to be facing, and I know everyone says, you know what, we take it one game at a time. We're not going to really overlook anyone. We're not going to take too much time on this and that and that. But at the same token, you know who you're facing. So how does the preparation go into a three-game set when you know who you're facing?
Well, we've been preparing for a while since we found out who we were playing against. So that kind of helps. And then when we get down to tournament time, whichever game is there, we're set and we're focused on that, days leading up to that. And then once that game is finished, we don't think about it anymore. So the China game, it's over with, done with. Now our next focus these past few days have been solely just New Zealand. Once that game's done, solely Netherlands. So we have a good focal point. And, yeah, we're just really excited for these games. They're three amazing sides. And, it's a good group.
And you got 3 points. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all that matters.
Yeah. Right? That was big. I mean, what could you believe how it happened too? I mean, a late penalty kick. I mean, that's just the stuff that dreams are made of. I mean, our coach always says we give him heart attacks in games because we always leave scoring until the last minute. So he said that to us. But he's like, "Could you think he could maybe score a little bit earlier on?" So my heart, kind of settles a little bit. So it's pretty funny. But you have clutch players coming through at clutch times, and that's what Christine did. So it was great. So if you score a goal in the first 5 minutes of the game, we're going to see Coach all nice and relaxed on the sidelines. Yeah, sure we are, Lauren.
Probably not. Probably not. Not Coach Herdman. No, I don't think he relaxes at all from start to finish. So he's pretty funny on the sidelines if you ever watch him.
Yeah, we did, and he is intense, and but you know what? There's a little bit on the line. Of course, being the home side in this whole thing.
Yeah.
So he's he knows the camera's on him.
Yeah, it's just that heart and passion.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just going to say it's just that heart and passion from him coming out on the sidelines. He just wants it so badly. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so do you. So that's it's pretty cool.
No, thanks.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm gonna have to get you to send me a number 10 jersey from Lauren Sesselmann. I gotta get it.
I think I can do that. I got you.
Oh my God! Imagine. Yeah, I have my Francesco Totti number 10. I have my Pele jersey number 10. Like that's my number 2. So
and then you're gonna have Sesselmann. There you go.
Yeah. Well, when I saw you were wearing it, I was like, oh, look! I cannot believe Lauren's wearing number 10. That's awesome. I love it, Lauren. That's cool. All right. Let me let you get out of here. I know you have a lot to do. I'm sorry that I don't want to keep you. So I really appreciate
No, thank you guys so much for having me on.
No, that's cool. It's of course, everyone here wishes you the best. We hope Team Canada makes it to the group 16 or a group of 12? Right? You go from. How does it work when the Women's World Cup?
I think it's 12.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, well, 24 teams, obviously the top 2 are going to advance. So, yeah, it's yeah, but who cares? Just get there. I want to see you get there, get to that group stage, or move on to the next round. Man, go Canada. I mean, that's just, come on, Lauren.
I love it. Thanks. Thank you guys for the support. You rock.
That's cool. All right, Lauren, take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
All right, bye, Lauren.
Bye.
That's bye. That is just ridiculously cool to have Lauren Sesselmann stop by, get more sports soccer podcasts on the World Tour. You know, and she is extremely busy. It is so hard to get an interview with somebody from the Women's World Cup right now. So for her to stop by, we really hope you all appreciated that. And I know I do. It's fantastic to see them going on. Hopefully the Canadian team can move on. And, you know, good luck to Lauren and good luck to Team Canada. Of course, good luck to the Team USA, of course. It's, you know, we support all the North American leagues here. So fantastic stuff. Again, we appreciate everyone taking the time to listen. So then Lauren's out of here. Let's leave you with the sound of the Vuvuzela, and we'll catch you next week on the Get More